Khulekani Mahlangu, the last born of Umama Mahlangu. As you have heard, that she is the wife of the benefactor of the Indawo, number 43, Triloni Park. Thank you very much. So Umama nagangihlebela edlebeni, she says to me, speak about education. And last week, I got the opportunity to present a story, a testimony to homeschoolers. Actually, Babu Songezo, these homeschooling groups were somehow trying to run away from being disempowered by our national education system. But when I got there, I just told a simple story. I lost an opportunity to become a pilot because of pornography. That's all I said. And I never thought that the homeschoolers are having that problem. And the grade 12 pupil came to me and said to me, I'm actually writing a book because I also had this problem of pornography. Now he's doing grade 12. He wants to write a book. You can imagine how long was he enslaved into this. And then on the line of education, I saw my difficulties. I remember the time when I came to school, they said, okay, please stand aside because you haven't paid your school fees. They'll keep us at the courtyard until about 10 o'clock. And then they will tell us to go back home so that we can tell our parents that school fees has not been paid. We must pay the school fees so that we can be able to attend the classes. Now, recently, I came across a document that said my dad had actually left an investment so that we can tap into those funds so that I may be educated. I did not know that with all the struggles that I went through just because of school fees. So, Old Mutual, you spoke about transfer of information under the line of there are many people who are contributing to a fund and they don't know that they actually own Woolworths, Pick and Pay, and so on. Hence, I did not know that I had money for education, but I struggled that much. So let me also add some agitation to say, what measures are we taking to transfer that knowledge? If it means to have a body that goes to the respective beneficiaries to say, this is your money, use it wisely. Now, this is outside a large organization. I lived with Uluwi Geldenes. If I had to follow some teachings, I wouldn't have allowed myself to live with Uluwi Geldenes when I was at university. And this is the thing that I picked out just recently. We traveled with Uluwi Geldenes to university with his own Golf. We go 4. Now, when we traveled to university, it took us 27 minutes for me to get to university so that I can attend classes. But when I used public transport, it took me, I just calculated, 2.5 hours to get to university. Now look at that difference. And simply by the spirit of giving, spirit of charity, he never made me to pay for petrol. He took me for free. We always went to university together. Only when he was not available, I stretched the time to be able to get to my destination. I'm speaking to Umama Lo, who had to wake up at 4 o'clock and get to work at 7:30. But just one thing can change that. Charity from the next person who can reduce the time span that you spend on the road so that you can get to your workplace or your study place or your school where you want to study. But now I spoke to you saying we went to speak to homeschoolers and I told them my testimony. You said something about social media and the impact in terms of influence that it has. And then we thought, we won't go around asking for money so that I can get that petrol money to travel to a school that is in Cape Town so that I can share my testimony, because we visited about 6,000 schools around South Africa. And then the question was, how can we work so that we can create the funds to travel to these various locations? And Uma got the opportunity to distribute water so that we can use the profits to make these movements. But now, speaking to business, I thought, thinking bigger, I thought Abu Baba understood the necessity of living in the same compound. So you would go into the yard and there will be multiple houses. Indlu yakamabani, indlu yakamabani, indlu yakamabani, and they all lived together. My mother always told the stories of eating in the same dish together. But magnifying that means ama estates wethu akhona throughout South Africa, where you have a compound that is well fenced. You go in, there are multiple units where various families live there. It is a business idea. Siyakwenza emakhaya. Then why don't we multiply it? And in the rural areas, even the rural areas of Eastern Cape, have these compounds of saying, let the people stay here and then generate revenue out of that, because we understand how do we live together in peace and without disturbing each other and stepping into each other's toes. Ngiyabonga kakhulu.